Welcome back to another video. In this video, I am taking you through the removal of the independent rear suspension of my 1986 Jaguar XJ6. You can see I've already got it jacked up and it's in the air right now. And I'm gonna be removing this entire assembly right here. If you are familiar with these cars, you know that the rotors and brakes are closer to the differential as opposed to over here by the wheel. Because of that, I'm gonna be removing the entire IRS here, and I'm replacing both calipers in the rear. Once I finish up the rear and put everything back together, I'll get to the front, but I mainly wanted to make a video for the back. I haven't really found many videos on dropping the entire IRS for these cars, so I wanted to make one for myself, and so that those of you who are watching can also do this kind of job yourself. It probably sounds a little bit intimidating, but it's really not that hard. And I say that now, but it's just a few bolts on each side, and also the drive shaft and the brake lines and a few other things, and theoretically it should come down pretty easy. But I'm going to take you through the process of removing this so you can see what really goes into it, and hopefully we both learn something new. Before I go any further, I need to remove this portion of the exhaust that flows right through there, and on that side too. The only problem is this side right here is kind of rusty. This is kind of rusted too, so I'm going to try to use some WD-40 and get that kind of loose. And I'll be able to take these off and these off, and then disconnect it from the actual muffler, and I'll be able to move this forward. While I'm waiting for the exhaust to be ready, I just unhooked the parking brake from its mounting location. You pull this back, this slides out, then you push out this rubber piece that is fitted inside of there, so that when this gets pushed back, you can just pop it out. Just push this back, it pops out. Then you can pull this out of its slot, and it slides out. Now that the parking brake has been removed, I can work on the brake lines. You'll see this main line right here feed all the way to the back up there into that metal line back there. That feeds into this entire section here, and there's really no need for me to disconnect any of this here. So what I'm gonna do is remove this line here. When I bring the suspension down, this should stay intact. The brake line is now undone. Really, I just need to get this exhaust out of here. Then I can do the bolts that are up here, and this should come down. This was bound to happen. At least this is undone. Now I can do this one. This is disconnected here and also here. Now I need to try to disconnect it from this muffler and this muffler. Okay, one side down. Unfortunately, this had already been pretty compromised with rust. I had to bend these back quite a bit. Eventually I was able to fit a screwdriver in there and pry it out. We got this side out. This side is also pretty rusty, but I'm hoping that I can clean this up a bit. So after I get the suspension down, I might just cut it right there and replace this entire muffler with a straight pipe. It's not going to change the sound whatsoever, and it's really not going to affect it too much. Anyways, one muffler down, one more to go. Drive shaft bolts are now off, meaning I should only have these two right here and these two right here on this side, and also the other side to remove. Holy shit. Oh my god. And now I have access to the calipers and the brake pads. So I'm going to start taking these off and replace them with the new calipers that I got.
now that the rear brakes and calipers have been replaced, I can start working on the front calipers and the front brakes. There wasn't really an issue with the front, but if I'm doing the back, I might as well do the front too and have a whole new system. I basically did this video so that I had something to reference to in the future, and also it was a really good learning experience for me with owning one of these cars, and hopefully this video has helped you out if you are into these cars or also own one of these cars. I'm very excited to get this thing done and on the road again because it really needs a wash, and I'm really excited to be driving it again. And for those of you who have asked about the Rolls-Royce, I'm gonna be working on that sometime soon. I'm basically just waiting to get a 3-bay shop put onto our property because right now the Rolls-Royce is stored in my working shop, and I don't want to be working on it in there because I do a lot of metal work in there and I don't want it to get damaged just in case. Like I said, I basically made this video as a reference for me in the future, but I hope that it has helped you out. Anyways, that is going to be it for this video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.